afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome to today's webinar hosted by Airship Aviation Academy. We are happy to see
Good
number of you
afternoon,
joining
sir.
us today. Good afternoon. So today's session is extremely relevant because we are living in a time where the aviation industry is expanding rapidly, and many of you are standing at an important career crossroads. I'm sure some of you would be on the verge of completing your CPL. Some of you have completed your CPL and are in doubt whether we shall go for a type rating or not, or you're having a FOMO seeing the Air India's vacancy that is only for the type rated pilots coming out, or there could be many questions which you would be having. We'll try to answer them, and by the end of this session, you will have clarity so you can make a smart, informed decision for your own future. Okay, so let me share my screen. Uh, at any moment, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask. And let's begin. You all can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, so basically, we'll be speaking about is this the right time to do your type rating if you're considering who should do the type rating and who should not. And we'll talk about your A320 endorsement, Boeing 737, and ATR. I have not included Q400 in this because the number of people going for Q400's type rating is very low. And similarly, I have not covered SpiceJet in it, but if anyone has any questions, we may go forward with it. All right. So today's topics for discussions will be the golden age of Indian aviation is here. Why is it so? Again, we won't be citing any articles or news which you see on Google, which are the paid articles. We'll be talking about actual facts given by the airlines and what does the outlook look like. Indigo, so mainly A320, the dominant fossil. We all know Indigo has a market share of 64%. And what can be expected regarding your induction, the future. Then we'll speak about Akasa and Air India Express. Basically, this is for your Boeing 737. All those who are considering the Boeing type rating or who are undergoing Boeing or Airbus type rating. Then ATR, the high probability path. Very low number of candidates opt for ATR type rating. However, your chances are very high to get in if you are ATR rated because of very low competition. We'll speak about it subsequently. Then why airlines prefer rated pilots in 2026. So pre-COVID, I know you all must be knowing that pre-COVID the demand was really high and the supply was less. So it didn't matter much whether you were rated or not. And the airlines themselves used to sponsor your type rating. However, now, if you are a CPL candidate who has been selected or picked by an airline, you have to sponsor your own type rating. And there are many factors, we'll speak about that. Then strategic advice for the aspiring pilots and the summary and final verdict. Okay, so let's start with the golden age. Why is it here? So the mega orders, so over 1,800 aircrafts are currently on order. So around 924 aircrafts are on order by Indigo as per the Indigo's website. Recently, another Airbus 321 XLR came in. You all must have seen the videos. By early 2026, deliveries have stabilized. Airbus have started their deliveries. There was a huge backlog, especially for Indigo. And same case for your Akasa. The Boeing fleet was being delayed. Air India and Indigo receiving narrow body frames monthly. Infrastructure surge. Again, good news that Navi Mumbai recently it has been inaugurated, commenced commercial operations on December 25th with international flight scheduled for March of this year. Then in Noida also will be officially inaugurated in January 2026, becoming India's largest airport by area. Now let's talk about pilot shortage. The recent analysis suggests India will require 25 to 30,000 active pilots. So how does this number come from? So if we see for every aircraft, speaking about narrow body, we need around 6 to 8 pilots to operate that single aircraft. Okay. So looking at the number of orders, we can consider that in the subsequent years, these many pilots will be required. However, there are currently 8,000 to 9,000 pilots which are actively flying, out of which around 5,200 are in Indigo. Then we are having new players. Fly 91 is expanding. So Fly 91 based out of Goa and with the launch of Shankar, you all must have seen, are actively challenging the duopoly. Okay, so in short, we can see that the future is bright, especially this year, 2026. After a after a brim year of 2026, you can expect vacancies coming out in this year. Okay, so again, some news, India's pilot shortage and aviation market growth, a critical analysis. There are various studies that there is a shortage. So recently also we saw in FDTL, there was a shortage. However, there was a shortage of, in Indigo, shortage of captain and not of first officers. However, there is since the number of orders are coming in, there is gonna be a monthly induction. A lot of monthly inductions are going to be happening and vacancies going to be come out. And even if Air India and Indigo has cadet programs, still the demand is enough for the conventional trainees as well. Okay, so let's talk about Airbus. So I'm assuming most of you, a majority of you would be considering Airbus as type rating if you are, and or many of you would be undergoing your A320 type rating. So it is, since we know it is mainly operated by Indigo and Air India, and Indigo has a market share of 64%, and they have a order pending of 900 plus aircrafts. So that is why Indigo has the maximum demand uh, in India, and if you consider for A320 type rating, it is considered to be one of the most safest options. Recently, also we saw that 20 end of 2025, Air India's vacancy came out. Last year as well, we had 2024, we had two vacancies of Indigo. That was A320. So A320 has a good future of India. So talking about Indigo, first A321 XLR was inducted recently, and order book 924 aircrafts as we spoke about it, and we are expecting 9 more A321 XLR deliveries within 2026 alone. All right. Then 2026 outlook. So what can be expected in this year? Now let's talk about a bit about the vacancies. So okay, your deployment of A321 on long haul routes, that is for the Middle Eastern countries, okay, will require surgeon, senior first officers, and rated pilots. So your senior first officers will soon be promoted to captains, and your vacancies for first officers are gonna come up. So recently, if you're following the vacancies, recently Indigo came out with A320 rated military pilots. After that, Indigo also came up, I think in December end or January first week, with A320 type rated pilots who are experienced, that is experienced first officers. Anyone saw that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is a sign that Indigo is soon gonna be coming up with another vacancy, even though I'm sure you all would have heard that there's a huge backlog in Indigo. However, the demand is also very high. And with this recent FDTL drama that happened, Indigo is expediting their hiring process. And you shouldn't be surprised if you see another Indigo's vacancy in next 2-3 months, because the backlog of September CPL candidates have also started to clear up. Okay. Then vacancy alert. So this is official, not something which figure we have made up. So Indigo has said that they need 900 pilots this year. So 900 first officers to be precise. So 900 uh, first officers will be needed. So your 50 pilots are getting inducted each month in Indigo. Additionally, I'm assuming, if I'm not wrong, in this month, 100 pilots have been inducted by Indigo. And soon the backlog will be over, and you can expect another vacancy from Indigo. And Indigo is known for coming out for both vacancies, that is your CPL and type rating. However, if you are type rated, you will have certain perks, as in your firstly, your competition will be less and your selection process will be faster. We'll speak about that towards the end. Let's talk about other airlines. Again, the same news. Now let's talk about Boeing. If anyone is considering for going your Boeing type rating 737 or who has already completed their 737 type rating. So your last Boeing vacancy came out in 2024 January. That was for CPL and type rated candidates. They are still on hold. However, your Air India Express has started with the process of induction again. So again, good news for Akasa was there was a huge pause, or you can say 2 years. However, again, the news has come in that Akasa has also come out with military pilots and experienced first officer. And as far as we know, by the end of 2026 or in the second half, you can expect a Boeing 737 uh, rated vacancy as well from Akasa. Speaking about Air India Express, their backlog has started to clear and they will also slowly start inducting more pilots. So Akasa are aiming for the fleet of 40 aircraft by March 2026 and 50 plus by the end of 2026. So Boeing has also paged up their deliveries, and the delay and the pause in Akasa was because of fleet unavailability and they had overhired. So around 150 200 LOI signed pilots are sitting at home waiting to fly. Now that backlog is going to be cleared up. Hiring update, CEO Vinay Dubek confirmed hiring will restart in second half of this year as delivery schedules from Boeing have accelerated. Speaking about AIX, again, new aircrafts are coming in. Victor Tango, Romeo November Tango recently was inducted and now they have 190 jet induction phase. Strategic growth, AIX is aggressively replacing the old 737s and they are updating their fleet and to dominate Indian Gulf corporate traffic. So if anyone who has liking for Boeing and they are considering for the type rating of Boeing, they can consider going for type rating now since by the end of this year, Akasa's vacancy is expected. However, CPL candidates are not so sure because first the vacancies or the priority is given to the rated pilots. All right. Now let's talk about ATR. So ATR, very less number of candidates opt for ATR. Why? Because some of them don't want to fly the smaller aircraft or maybe the routes are domestic only. These are number of reasons people don't opt for ATR. However, recently an Indigo's ATR vacancy came out, type rated only. You all are aware?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Do you all know how many appeared for it? Anyone knows the number?
60, I think.
Correct. So only 60 pilots all over India appeared for ATR vacancy. Out of 60, if I'm not wrong, 35, 40 were shortlisted for your group discussions, adapt and group discussions, and further they were filtered out in PI. So the competition in ATR is so less. So I have some figures here. In April 2024, Indigo's vacancy, 2,400 candidates appeared for it, out of which 1,900 was CPL candidates and rest 500 were rated candidates. Okay, so you can see the competition here. The competition in ATR is so less. If you have done your rating of ATR, I can say like 99% you will get inducted sooner or later. So, what are the two main players? Indigo, Fly 91. Alliance Air is also there. However, um, there are some issues with their induction. They had come up with a vacancy in 2024. However, they didn't go forward with it and they returned the examination money. Okay, so these are the main two players. And Fly 91 is also conducting induction every 6 months. That is, new vacancies coming out. Recently, Fly 91 also came out. So, Fly 91 expanded to its fleet of six ATRs on January 5th and adding new regional hubs like Vijayawada and Rajmundry. Low competition, as I said, there is a very low competition in ATR with narrow body recruitment drawing thousands. ATR remains a specialized niche with faster transition times for CPL holders. Now, Indigo is the main player of ATR in India. It has a fleet of 49. I think they haven't placed any more orders. However, the selection or the new induction in ATR keeps on happening as your first officer getting inducted, getting converted to captain, and many captains and first officer after completing number of hours are shifting to A320. Okay, so mainly your vacancy comes out from this. That is your first officers and captains shifting to A320, and that is why ATR in Indigo very favorable, and the induction is faster if you compare it with A320 of Indigo. Again, Udan scheme, it basically promotes your ATR only. Why? Because it is a government backing for regional connectivity, steady demand for turbo pilots in tier 2, tier 3 cities. So Udan connects all your tier 2, tier 3 cities which do not have huge runways, and that is why ATR is also high in demand. We can see your Fly 91 is expanding its fleet and new vacancies keep on coming in. Okay, so now let's come to the main question. Why airlines prefer rated pilots in 2026, and who should consider type rating and who should not? We'll also cover that in the next slide. So operational readiness. So let's say if you have completed your type rating and if you do your upbridge course with the airline, you are ready to get inducted, you are ready to fly the aircraft. However, if you are a CPL candidate, firstly you have to go for a 2 or 3 month type rating course. Then you will wait additional 2 months of from DGCA to endorse your license. That is when are considered or put in queue for your induction. All right. So that is why there's a big delay for the CPL candidates. And under the new FDTL, we all know the FDTL saga. FDTL deadline, airlines have an immediate shortfall of nearly 1,000 pilots. They cannot afford 6 month training cycles for non-rated cadets. So, speaking about FDTL, even though it was announced 2 years ago, still mainly Indigo didn't cater for it. So now they have expedited their inductions as well, and that's why you are seeing more vacancies coming up. The queue jumper, the important thing, rated pilots can be line ready in 45 to 60 days during rated only drives. So recently speaking about your Air India vacancy, right? It was only for the A320 rated pilots and not CPL holders. And CPL holders with a rating are prioritized to avoid flight cancellations. So basically, uh, number one, only type rated vacancies come out. And secondly, there are I'm sure many of you would have heard from your friends who are waiting for the induction in Indigo that if they got selected as a CPL holder in April, they are still awaiting their induction or recently got inducted. However, if there was someone who was type rated in September vacancy, they got inducted before them. So basically, you can say your CPL holders are sitting at home for more than a year, whereas type rated pilots have jumped the queue. They did their abridged course, they jumped the queue, they already had the endorsement, and they were inducted. So that is the main advantage of your doing your type rating. Firstly, it cuts down your competition. Only 400 pilots appeared in April 2024 in Indigo in comparison to 1,900 of CPL. Then financial impact, airlines are facing potential losses of up to 18,000 crore due to operational disruptions. Hiring rating pilots reduces their training overhead and gets aircraft back in air faster. So basically, this is regarding management from the point of view of management. So the airlines want your pilots quicker. So they are coming up with vacancies. All right. Now, who should not go for type rating? So before I jump into that, we all should know. I'm not saying that you all should go for type rating. If you have your preference, you don't wish to, then you can opt for that also. But one should know that if you do your type rating on your own, that is, if you do it from India, like FSTC, I'm talking about A320, FSTC, then if you do it from abroad, like Vietnam, GTA, Jakarta, or Madrid, you can do it in 15 to 17 lakhs. However, if you do type rating if you are CPL rated and you do type rating under the airlines, As far as I know, Indigo is asking for 24 to 28 lakhs for your type rating. So you have to pay this additional cost if you are a CPL candidate and doing type rating under the airline. Additionally, you have to wait a bit more. Also, even if you are rated, you still have to undergo a bridge course. However, still you will end up saving 3 to 4 lakhs if you do type rating on your own, if you compare it to doing type rating under airlines. Okay. Airlines do not sponsor your type rating anymore. Okay. So now who should not go for type rating? Again, if you are open, if you do not have any specific liking, suppose you do not have any specific liking for A320 and you want to go for Boeing, but you are not sure if Boeing vacancy is going to come up soon or not. So you might wait for CPL vacancy. So if Airbus vacancies comes out, it's okay. You can join Airbus. You can write the exam of Airbus. All right. And secondly, it is your finances. So mainly it is because of finances. So you can go for a type rating if you can afford that 15 to 25 lakh investment. And those who are relying still are who had taken loans for their CPL and still paying it, they should avoid type rating as of now because we will also have CPL vacancies this year. Uh, just for example, if we are having around four vacancies this year, so two will be type rated only and two will be for both rated and CPL. Okay, so I can assure you there can be at least two vacancies for CPL holders, which can be from Indigo, and ATR vacancies is also round the corner. Market timing. So you cannot time the market, that you cannot predict when a vacancy is going to come out until and unless you are in the management of that airline. Like no one had a clue that Air India is going to come up with vacancy. They were not hiring any military pilots. They were not hiring any experienced pilots. They straight away came up with a vacancy after 2023. All right. And okay, so who should do, who are targeting in the second half, either Akasa, that is your Boeing, and Indigo. Indigo is expected very soon. And who should not, either you are under your CPL training, you are about to complete, or it is more than 6 months, do not consider type rating as of now. Risk appetite, those who prefer immediate entry into the cockpit, time frame is less in type rating. However, do not go for it if you are unsure that I will be binded to, let's say, only A320. What if Boeing 737 vacancy comes out? And that is a big doubt. Basically, that is the biggest doubt among the students. What if I do type rating of Airbus? Let's say now a lot of candidates after the 2024 vacancy of AIX have done their type rating in Boeing. So a lot of them are still waiting. They were basically stuck after that no Boeing vacancy came out. So that is one of the risks, that you are committing yourself to one aircraft. Okay. So those should not go for TR. However, if you want to consider, I would say Airbus is the safest option as of now. And then post that ATR, because of the very low competition. If you don't mind flying an ATR, if you do not have any personal liking or to any other aircraft, you can also opt for ATR because the competition is very low and it is, you can say, a sure shot selection in ATR because there is a huge shortage of ATR uh, pilots in the market. Then fleet goal. If you're sure if you want to fly 737 or 320 or ATR, then you should go ahead with their type rating. Okay, those who are sure I want to fly this aircraft only. All right. And if you are unsure about which aircraft you want to fly and considering the other factors, you might wait for your CPL vacancies. There's nothing wrong in waiting for your CPL vacancies. You can apply in all the airlines, that is various different fleets. However, you might miss out certain vacancies which are type rated only, like Air India. Okay, so summary for this webinar is if you want to do type rating of Airbus, that is A320. Highest vacancy volume, we all know maximum number of aircraft flying in India is Airbus. And again, around 900 aircrafts order pending order of Indigo. A long haul expansion, A321s are coming in this year. A350s will also come in. So maybe by the time you all get inducted, your first officers, you all can also be shifted to A350s directly, just like Air India did with their 787s. Best for those seeking global exposure. You should go for your Boeing 737. Massive growth coming in late 2026 via CASA and AIX. A strong challenger fleet choice. So again, Boeing 737, you will be limited to Akasa and AIX. However, uh, you can expect your vacancy in second half of this year. Regarding ATR, it is the fastest route to a paycheck. Like I said, only 60 candidates appeared for your written exam. Post that, GD, your ADAPT, GD, and PI was also expedited, and those students were inducted in December last month. All those who were selected and rated. So 2026 is a year of readiness with two new mega hubs, Noida and Navi Mumbai, and 1800 planes arriving. The airline won't wait for you to train, you must be ready to fly. Okay, so anyone has any questions regarding type rating or CPL? You all can ask the questions.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Karthik.
So the vacancy of Indigo we are expecting around March or April will be CPL or type rated.
Again, I'm not sure, I can't confirm, but Indigo is known for mass hiring, and you can expect for CPL also. However, type rating for sure will be there, and if you're rated, you will be jumping the queues. Even if you are low in the merit list, as a rated pilot, you will be inducted first. However, for Indigo, you can expect a CPL vacancy in short.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, I had a question, sir.
Yes. Go ahead.
Um, what would be the age limit for Indigo, Air India Express, and Akasa Air separately, sir?
Okay, so Indigo, as long as I can remember, it is 32. I'm not sure if anyone is sure, please correct me. I think in April it was 32. Air India, we saw it was 30. And speaking about AIX and Akasa, I'm not sure about the numbers.
All right.
So can we expect one more vacancy of Air India in this year?
Air India, uh, it is unlikely. So by the end of the year, they might, if your deliveries pace up, because Airbus is speeding up the deliveries. However, recently a vacancy came out, and Air India Vistara was known for only type rated vacancies. So they know around this time also around 500 pilots are expected to sit, and they will select the number of pilots they need, and if the demand is fulfilled and is there is more demand, Air India will come up with another vacancy. However, it is unlikely because the last vacancy came out in 2023. Along with the fleet issue, there were also some management issues, but still, maybe by the end you can expect, but it is unlikely for Air India.
Okay, sir.
Again, we cannot predict or say anything. Only the guys who are in management, they would be knowing.
And so, how much duration our type rating will be valid once we do it?
So your type rating is valid for long. So basically, what happens is when you go for your type rating, on the very last day of your check, you will get something known as IRPPC. That is valid for 1 year. That is what is important. So mainly after you're done with your type rating, you have to apply for any airline or get into any airline within 1 year, even if you are even if let's say the vacancy didn't come out like in 2024 and your IR is lapsed, still you can apply for vacancies with lapsed IR. However, you have to get your IR renewed before joining. Okay, so like in Air India, many of my students have applied for it. However, they have lapsed IR, and if they get selected after their personal interview, they will go for their IR renewal on their own. So there is as such no limit for your endorsement. However, IR is the main important thing.
So how much will it cost, like, to renew your IRPPC or something?
I am not sure about the number. So it cost, anyone knows? If I'm not wrong, you only need one session for it. That is your night check, and you have to do two uh, instrument approaches. It is around 1 lakh, if I'm not wrong. That's what I heard last.
So, sir, when the airline take the check, the IRPCC has not been renewed over there.
You're talking about pre-simulator sim check?
Yes.
No. So your pre-simulator sim check, like what is happening currently in Indigo. So the students, the cadets had done their type rating 1.5 years ago or 1 year ago. And after 1.5 years ago, they were directly sitting in the FFS. FFS is the full flight motion simulator. So it is not logged in your logbook or on your EGCA, and thus it is not counted as as a flight. It is just a check, and your IR is not renewed. Your IR renewal is either done by the airline if you were a CPL candidate who joined with the airline. Airline takes care of it. If you are a type rated pilot, and let's say the airline made you sit for 1 year, which is highly unlikely, still the airline takes care of it. If you have letter of intent from the airline and after getting selected your IR has lapsed, the company or the airline is liable for it.
Okay, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. I just had one question.
Yes, go ahead. Good afternoon.
I wanted to ask if we go for the Airbus 320 and from behind, if any vacancy comes up from Indigo, so
Correct.
what are we supposed to do in that meantime? And we can't leave the type rating in between and come and, like it will hamper the CPL thing also. If we even sit for the CPL, we won't be able to prepare for it. Like, we won't be able to put our mind totally in it. So,
Correct, correct. So, regarding this, again, you have to take a call. It is only a 2 month course for firstly for your type rating.
right.
Additionally, if what I recommend my students is who are in doubt of this, you can do your type rating from India, so that like if Indigo came up with any vacancy, you can at least appear for the CPL examination, and once you have cleared it and you have the endorsement in your hand, you can mail the endorsement to the company and you will be treated as a type rated pilot. However, if you are abroad, like if you're doing your type rating from abroad, still, if you request the management, they will give you a leave for 1 or 2 days. However, as you said, your preparation won't be very good because you will be indulged in your type rating and you won't get much time for your preparation. So it
Right.
is a gamble you have to take. However, it is only a 2 month course, and it is completed relatively quicker, and you can also apply on the challan number.
Right. So, but just like in India, there are no slots available as of now. Wherever I inquired, they are saying like till like March 30th, we are fully booked. So from April only, they'll be taking students. In short,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So that is one another thing, and one more thing, sir. According to you, what is easier? Because Indigo is known to have one of the toughest written exams. If you appear for CPL or whatever, so type rated would be like, would it be easier to clear, or CPL is fine? Like, anybody can do it. Like, even like, what is the probability?
In my opinion, what I have seen is type rating exam is easier, even though you have more syllabus, you have to cover your systems as well as CPL syllabus.
Right.
However, since the competition is low, and in A320 you have very similar type of questions, like very predictable questions. So type rated pilots are the probability is higher in that. Firstly, the competition is low. Secondly, the questions are predictable. You have to study for the CPL also. You have to work harder, but at the same time, your induction and everything will be much quicker.
In type rated, you're saying, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, go ahead. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Sir, I had a doubt. I was actually planning to go for my type rating,
Okay,
And as you know, there are a lot of type-rated Airbus pilots sitting from the past 1 year.
correct.
So I was asking that if there is any future vacancy that come for rated pilot, and they mention that there is the requirement for current IRPPC. So, for example, if someone whose IRPPC has lapsed, and if I'm current, and we both clear the vacancies, so
Mm-hmm.
will the airline give me more preference, or the induction will be faster compared to those whose IRPPC are lapsed, or
Your
it does
induction
not
can be
matter that much?
faster. You won't have like any priority as such. Your induction can be faster because they have to undergo their IR on their own. Then they have to do all the paperwork, upload it on EGCA. So it takes a time. So you can get inducted faster. However, all these pilots were sitting for more than a year with lapsed IR. If they have not renewed it, it is not a problem as such. However, you can expect that. You will be inducted faster because you have current IR. That's it. The only delay they will be having is they have to undergo IR renewal on their own. That's it.
Okay, okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hi, sir.
Hi.
Sir, since Air India is not very unlikely to hire for Airbus again this year,
Mm.
as you said, and Indigo is now only the player to hire the Airbus candidates, and as you said, it's known for mass hiring at once. Does it do it like in one vacancy that it's coming up, or will it break it up to two different vacancies later, like second half of this year again? Will it come for like both CPL and TR at those times?
Again, that can't be predicted. Back in 2024, also no one knew or had predicted that another vacancy is going to come, because in April themselves they had hired around 700 candidates had cleared the written exam and around 300 were selected. So can't say for sure that it can be divided into two vacancies, but for sure one vacancy is going to come, and most probably it will be for both rated and CPL candidates.
Okay, sir, got it. And so another question is it a good time, like in the month of March, to choose for A320 type rating? Because I have applied for DGCA license, and it might take like until Feb or March to come. So right after
Okay.
that, is it a good time, like to go for 320 type rating?
Yes, March is also a good time. You can't apply in any TRTO under Challan, CPL Challan.
I'm
I'm
not
not
sure of that, sir.
okay. You can
Sir, even
inquire.
if we apply before going, we need the CPM.
Okay, for type rating. Okay, so in any case, you have to wait for your license to come. Then March is it's a good time. Again, it is better to be rated if you have made your mind that you want to fly A320 or any aircraft, or even safety wise. That is, if you want a job in your hand, getting rated is a better option. And by chance, if any worst case, if your luck is very bad, any vacancy comes out during that duration, you can apply for CPL anyway.
Okay, sir, got it.
Yes.
So, but then when I would be finishing up with my type rating, the vacancy I had already missed for CPL and TR. Do you think like there would be any other vacancies for 320?
See, if you're doing it from India, you might apply for that vacancy. You can appear for it. If you're doing it from abroad, again, that depends on your TRTO and the flight expenses. After that, once you're rated, definitely you'll get in because the vacancies are lined up. Your aircrafts are coming up. So many vacancies are expected, even if you miss out on one vacancy. So by the end of the year, or by maybe by end of the year, another vacancy should come up, and you can apply in that.
Okay, sir. Sounds good.
Yes.
Thank you.
So is this a good time to go for A320 type rating if someone is a CPL holder?
Yes, it is a good time, no doubt about it. If you're sure you want to fly A320, since it is the safest option, and Air India comes up with A320 vacancy only. Speaking about Indigo, Indigo takes, you will have priority over CPL candidates. So it is a good time, no doubt about it. And uh, I think there will be slots available in India. Just inquire more because some TRTOs are known to take students even a week prior of the beginning of their new batch.
So when is the vacancy for CPL holders expected for Indigo?
Indigo, as such, the month I don't know, but in this year, maybe in the around May, June, you can expect near the mid-year part. Because if you see this backlog of September vacancy has started to clear up. All the candidates who were type rated are getting inducted by Feb or March, and the CPL rated candidates, they also have their induction till April and May, and at the same time the what do you say, the GDPI has resumed of Indigo. So you can expect maybe after May or maybe after June, July. Do not expect before that, because your GDPIs are going on for the September vacancy. At the same time, if I'm not wrong, the September vacancies notification also came out when they were at the end of the selection of March, April GDPIs. So once they had completed the GDPIs of April vacancies, I think it was the last week. That's when they came out with the September vacancy. So still, I think it is projected till mid of this year that they will be taking your adapt GDs and PI. After that, only you will expect your vacancy from Indigo. Since the demand is there, the aircrafts are coming in, so for sure there will be a vacancy this year of Indigo.
So there is some GDPI after getting selected as well. The one you're talking about.
Selected as in the selection processes, the first round is your written exam.
Right.
Then you have adapt compass, adapt or compass. Indigo does adapt. Air India used to do compass and AIX does compass. Now new software is there.
Okay.
Then you have group discussion. Indigo's group discussion is taken very seriously,
Right.
whereas in AIX it is very casual.
Okay.
And then once you clear your group discussion, then you will have personal interview. That's when you
Right.
get selected.
Right.
And post that, both for Air India and Indigo, you will have, even for AIX, pre-employment simulator sim check, pre-employment sim check.
Okay, so the GDPI that you are talking about right now, I'm sorry, I'm a bit unaware, but did any vacancy come out last September as well?
In 2024 September, Indigo's vacancy came out. That was the last A320 vacancy.
So their GDPIs are not done till date.
No, there
Oh
was
my God.
a huge, you can say, break or gap between. Everything was paused, be it induction of the April candidates or your September guys. They are still waiting. So there are still pilots were sitting since June 2024, the CPL
Oh,
candidates.
understood. So I personally don't have a preference of an aircraft,
Okay,
but and I'm in a similar situation as the person who was speaking earlier. My license will be coming by Feb end.
okay,
So I'm in a bit of a stitch. Like, if I go for TR, what will happen behind me? And then, as we saw, three vacancies came recently, and all three were for rated pilots, and all three were different aircraft. So it's very hard to make a choice, and it's very hard to make a choice if I should even do type rating. Matlab,
okay.
I don't mind flying any aircraft. I don't have a personal preference as such.
See, again, it all depends on you. This is my personal opinion. If you do not have any, if you do not have any issues with the funds, and you do not have any preference, as you said, you
Right.
can you can go for type rating. So currently, Airbus is the safest. If
Right.
not, ATR is also good, because ATR, as I said, it will be a short selection.
Right.
And if you do not have any preference, Boeing is something I would not recommend as of now. However, still, as I said, Akasa is going to come up, that I'm sure. But speaking about the safety and the ROI, Airbus is the safest because of the high fleet number of Airbus, of Indigo and Air India.
Okay, let's say I go for a type rating right now in March after I get my CPL. Is there, and it was just mentioned that a vacancy would be coming in Feb or sorry, March or April by Indigo. So after that, will I be left with any choices? Because at that time I would be doing my rating. So after that, will I be
Okay.
left with any
So
choice for
again
rated
we
320
uh,
rated vacancies?
again we cannot predict when will the vacancy come out. However, if that is the worst case during your type rating, if any vacancy comes out, you can still apply for under CPL if there's a CPL vacancy.
Right.
And after that, once you're done with your type rating, you can send email your endorsement or the challan number to the airline, and you will be considered as a type rated candidate only.
Okay, sir.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you over here. So let's say
Yes.
the vacancy, for her example, her case, the vacancy comes up in the month of March,
Hmm.
and she is doing a type rating. So can't she apply in a type rated vacancy since the examination will be conducted in the month of April,
Okay.
stating that she's already undergoing her type rating and she will be eligible once the examination starts?
Correct. So again, in this case, this is a special case. So, I'll give you example of current vacancy, that is Air India. So all those who are undergoing Air India, all those who are undergoing type rating during this time. So they had again, we don't know if Air India will accept it or not, their candidature, because it clearly stated that you needed 320 endorsement at the date of application. However, many students have applied they have applied it, and if there's any shortfall email from their side, they can always give additional documents can be attached, like when you're completing your uh, type rating, and maybe you can directly send your challan number once you're done with type rating. We are not sure if the airline will accept it or not. In most cases they should, if that is the case, but again we are not sure, because Indigo last year did not entertain. Air India, let's see this year. I'm not sure.
Okay, sir.
So I just have one another question.
Go ahead.
This is with respect to Indigo. If two consecutive vacancy comes, it can be anything, CPL or type rated.
Hmm.
But if consecutively, like if I fail the first one, can I apply in the second one? Because I heard there's a cooling period of 6 months. And last year, like how Indigo came up with, I think 3 vacancies, including the girl power thing. So, like, is there any cooling period of 6 months, or like we can consecutively apply for 2 vacancies straight for Indigo?
So if let's say you failed in the written exam, there's
Yeah.
no cooling period. If you failed in the adapt, again no cooling period. For GD also, as long as I'm aware, there is no cooling period, because in GD you do not get a second chance. You are eliminated from the process. So you can apply. However, in your personal interview, if
Okay.
let's say you were borderline failed, then Indigo gives you a second chance for re-interview. In that case, you cannot sit for the vacancy again, because you are still part undergoing selection of Indigo. So you cannot apply for other vacancy, be it ATR or the same vacancy of A320.
Okay. Okay. And just one more thing. If doing the type rating and the type rated vacancy comes, sir, even if we can apply, what is the probability we'll pass? Because we anyways are undergoing a type rating, which is very new to what we studied in CPL. So either like how should be the approach and how should be the preparation for it?
Sorry, can you say again your question? I had a call.
So I just wanted to know what is the approach for a type rated vacancy if just we are undergoing a type rating in any of the TRTOs, and like how the preparation should be in order to even appear for that type rated vacancy, because the syllabus is totally different from what we study in CPL. So we are totally not aware of the stuff which we'll be studying, or which will come in the exam.
So for your type rated vacancy, the syllabus is usually like I'm talking about Indigo. So
Hmm.
60 questions are there. For 30 questions will be from A320 and 30 questions will be your CPL. For
Okay.
Air India, it is 45 questions will be A320 systems and 15 questions will be CPL. This is a ballpark figure. And
Okay.
however, as you said, yeah, the syllabus will be a bit different. Your A320 systems will be asked, and you might have less time to appear for it. But Yes, you might have less time to appear for it. However, if you can apply, go for it because you get 1 month before your written exam. That is your preparation period after the notification and the written exam.
Right. And so this airship, like, will you be will you be publishing the classes then, or like, can we start the preparation from now, or is it the recorded classes, or how is it?
This is for airline entrance.
For airline, either like I'm particularly asking about the type rated because I'd like to take classes while I'm doing the type rating and like for the airline preparation.
Okay, so in Airship we do take pre-type rating classes. Then we do A320 classes, that is the theory classes, because in your vacancies that is asked, A320 is asked. So that keeps on going. So once you apply in that course keeps on going till there's a vacancy,
Okay.
and you will be automatically enrolled in the crash course as well. So before 1 month after the notification, crash course is also there. During your type rating, it is not recommended to take any classes because your TRTO will be teaching and you won't have any time to attend any additional classes.
Right. Just like I wanted to enroll before itself so that like I have things to, before even going to the type rating, I have things to study.
Okay, so you can consider the pre-type rating course. So as of now, there will be recorded videos. There are no live classes going on because of the Air India vacancy. The
Right.
instructor is teaching in Air India crash course. So as of now, we do not have live classes for pre-TR. If you want to enroll, you can enroll in that. You will be having recorded videos. However, once you are done with type rating and you want to consider, you might go for, you can join the classes. You'll be having both live classes and access to the recorded videos as well.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Yes.
And so, what are the charges for airline training classes?
Uh, you need to contact the team for that. It depends on which vacancy is it. For Air India, it is 30,000, the
Okay,
crash course.
and how about Indigo?
Indigo is also same. Now it depends for various different vacancies. Be it for written exam, you have to. There's a different course, and there's a different course for your ADAPT, GD, and PI. That is also 35,000.
Okay,
These are the figures. Yes.
okay,
For additional information, you can contact the team.
sure.
Any more questions, anyone?
Yes, sir. My only
Yes.
concern was, I think the airlines usually hire at a maximum age limit of 35 for Boeing pilots. So I was considering, since I do not have any preferred choice of
Okay.
any TR or
Hmm.
any aircraft specific type, I was considering Boeing just because of the higher age limit. So do you
Okay.
think that would be advisable?
Yes, that is a wise choice. So again, 35, I'm not sure. I'm sure you would have researched upon it. But if that is the case, if your Boeing or either AIX or uh, Akasa is offering more age, then doing type rating is advisable as I'm sure a vacancy is going to come up in that. And with your age relaxation also, because in Air India, as we saw that the age was strict to 30 only.
Yes, sir. Because since Indigo just will come out with one vacancy this year,
Hmm.
or maybe not. But the age criteria would be 32.
Okay.
So again, that'll be a quite of a gamble, and I'll have to just clear the interview,
Hmm.
get hired or get inducted in just one shot.
Hmm.
So I was just considering Boeing on the same.
Okay, so yes, Boeing is preferred for that. So again, you just text the team once. I will just by maybe in an hour or two, I will text them what is the age requirement for each airline because I'm not sure of the numbers as of now, but I'll let you know.
Sure, sir. How can I reach out to the team again?
Uh, okay. Acha, you had applied again. Once I'll share the screen. Is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is the number. This is the WhatsApp number, or you can call on it. You can take a screenshot. So this is our contact information. You will get immediate reply on WhatsApp. Emails might take some time. And this is the website. If you want to go through the website, We have, as of now, recorded videos of CPL, even ATPL classes, pre-type rating, type rating, and crash courses. So if you want, you can go through the website. However, you can text the team at this number.
I'll drop in a text. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Any more questions? No questions? Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining today. And best of luck for your type rating or all the vacancies that are coming up, be it CPL or A320. And I'll see you in the cockpit soon. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.